texts coming in already on 81333. Let's take a look at this one. It's Dave at the allotment. Allotment Dave. It's Dave at the allotment.
Hello campers, welcome to the new and improved Dave's Allotment update videos. If I suss out how to edit, I should be able to crack on. Well, I'll just show you I'll go to the old school. New rhubarb's coming up a treat. That's going to be picked soon. Like I say, I'm just testing out this new camera. Today I am mostly going to be digging and transplanting seeds. So I'll get on with it. Right. This bed here was dug over last November. It's got a bit compacted, so I'm just giving it a quick fork over before I give the tiller and the rotavator a quick run. So I'll just crack on with that. I'll not bore you with showing you the rest of the digging, so I'll stop it here and resume when it's all done. Right, I'm back. As you can see, it's all forked over now. It's coming up to 1 o'clock, so I'm going to listen to the Garden Mania programme on Radio Newcastle and have myself a cuppa. Next job on this part is to give it a tilling over, so after my cuppa I'll get on with that. See you in a bit. Right, I'm back. I've had a cuppa. The gardening programme's still on, so while I get busy with this tilling, I'll let you have a listen to the gardening programme. It's quite interesting, like.
When you want to harm the cat, then a 50% solution of Jay's fluid wouldn't actually do the groundwork good where you place the tea bags. Jay's fluid is actually a biocide, it kills everything, so it may work, but I'm not sure whether it would be legal. Now, I brought something along actually to show Stan and Eddie. Can you see these two little things? Oh, you're going to do some raffia later on. No, I know, well, I'm going to do. There was only, there must be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's about 10 or 12 inches of a single stemmed something or other that I found in a tub yesterday when I was trying to tidy up my bulbs and everything. There was only about an inch of it appearing at the top, but this huge, long taproot was going down. I did recognise it. I think I know what it is.
I think the black mud on the top is a giveaway, isn't it?
But I find it absolutely astonishing that, because there must be some ash trees near me.
There must be.
I'm constantly pulling up these little plants.
Because when I was working in my front garden yesterday, pulling in all sorts of stuff, I must have pulled out about a dozen ash seedlings as well. And I can't ever remember seeing an ash tree anywhere near, but of course the ash keys, these are seedlings, they're like keys, and they float for miles and miles and miles. But I mean, this is a good example about how, most trees that we plant in our garden have been transplanted several times, and they don't have this lovely big taproot that a tree grows when it grows from a seed, where it grows a great big root straight down into the ground. And that just shows how really well, if that tree grew to its proper size, 70, 80, 100 feet, just shows how well it would be really anchored into the ground.
Absolutely, because as I say, I looked at this and I thought, oh, there's a little ash seedling, and I tugged and I thought, God, it was just horrendously difficult getting the thing out of this tub. I didn't realise there was another 12 inches below ground.
Ash is a lovely smooth wood as well, which is why it's used for handles. Garden implements are often made of ash because it doesn't flake and stick in your fingers, and you get all sorts of little keens and spelks. So but that's why ash are just such great survivors.
Yes, well, I brought them along just to show everybody, because I know the listeners can't see it, but I'll just hold them up in case anybody's looking on the webcams on BBC Newcastle, and you can see these little spindly things, but they're really strong. And it just goes to show you've got to keep on top of your weeding right from the beginning.
They will have grown last year, and if you happen to pull those out this year, by the end of September, October, they would be getting on for about a metre and a half tall. In 3 or 4 years' time, they'll be 5, 6, 7 metres tall.
I've got a huge problem with them in the hedges, in the little trees. Let's go across to Roland's Gill now, because Margaret is on the line. Hello, Margaret.
Hello, everybody.
How's your garden looking?
It's not too bad, actually. I cut the lawn yesterday. Whether I've done the right thing or the wrong thing, I don't know, but I've done it.
You've done it, so it's too late now.
The question is, I have some bird fish and bone. Now, can I use it as a general fertilizer where I've got shrubs and flowers?
I think it's a bit too early to start pushing on fertilisers this time of year. I think we've had so much water and rain.
Well, I don't mean just now. I mean...
later on, yes. I mean, you can use it as a top dressing. I mean, the beauty of blood and fish and bone are all organic. They're not inorganic, they're organic. So, blood's going to be high in nitrogen, there's one phosphate there, there's nitrogen there. So, I mean, you've got a balance there. But I would use it as a top dressing, gentle top dressing, 2 to 4 inches a square yard, as a general top dressing on your shrub border, or even on your hedge, for instance, because hedges, what we tend to figure out is we've only had hedges for the last 50 or 60 years, we used to live in back streets and everything, and I think a lot of hedges are suffering now because of the age. We haven't had the knowledge of looking after hedges like we should have done. Years ago, fruit trees, we used to top dress them by taking the lawn up and putting manure around, organic manure around the base of fruit trees, and that's what we're doing now. But I think blood, fish and bone are ideal organic.
Now, if I put plants in pots, could I sprinkle a little bit in the soil or not?
It's a slow release fertiliser, Margaret, so it gives up its compounds over a number of years. Is it a fairly new bag of fertiliser?
Well, actually, I bought it last year, so it's been in the greenhouse.
No, that's all right, because I was going to say that, newly bought material like this should in fact be sterilised. Where, there was a problem, particularly with bone meal, 10, 15, 20 years ago, when bone meal wasn't sterilised before it was sold, and potentially could then spread anthrax.
Yes, I know.
So if it's just a couple of years old, it'll be sterilised, so that'll be fine. And the only other thing to do is to wear gloves. Those of us who are students, and anybody who's ever been to any agricultural college will tell you the joys of spreading dried blood early in the morning on a field on a moist, damp morning when you actually come back red from top to toe because it works its way, it sticks everything clear. So that's fine. That's the only thing I'd just say, wear gloves and make sure you wash your hands afterwards.
Yes, right, thanks.
All right, Margaret, thank you very much. much for your call. Keep up the good work. Good to hear from Margaret again. And also, I'm just looking... Yes, I think it's Allotment Dave. I'm not sure. Somebody who hasn't put a... No, it's not you, Dave. It's someone else who has just said, when do you think I should be cutting my lawns, as I'm not too sure with all these frosts about, that there hasn't given a name on that one. So, well, you know, when we were talking about this earlier on, when they're so long that they start to look raggy, there is no rule that says that on the first Sunday in April you've got to cut your lawn. If it's getting to the stage and it's getting long, and then do it. But as we said, the first cut, you just want to be taking about a quarter of an inch.
Another reason why you're cutting it short, cutting it down, just tipping it, because if it's long, if you tip it this week, next week you can tip it a bit lower, you know, the week after, and you bring it down gently, so it greens up from the base. So one of the reasons for just tipping grass is if it's long, there's nothing wrong.
The science behind it is, if you've got a long piece of grass and you slightly cut the top off, that will encourage it to break at the bottom. And then if you cut it a little bit shorter the next time, it'll break at the bottom. So you get a bit of grass that has 5 or 6 strands. So it's a nice thick bit of grass. Whereas if you go straight in and slice it down to the bottom, you just have one strand of grass. So that's the whole tillering in the trade.
So that's done. So we've got I'm going to put some manure on and then put me beetroot in here when it's ready to go in. This one, as you can see, that's ready. If you've seen the tiller cam and the rake cam and what have you, that's the bed that was on. There's me garlic's coming on a treat. I'll have 5 minutes and I'll go into the greenhouse and do some potting on. Hello, as you can see, I'm in the garden, in the greenhouse. These are some broccoli. They've got a bit leggy. I grew them in the house on the windowsill. They've got a bit long, so I'm going to transplant them into these dripping cups. I've pre-watered the compost. I use these pound shop cups. You get 80. I used to get 100, but now you get 80 for a pound. And the easiest way to make the holes in the bottom I found is you get a lighter. Just give it a touch. And there you go. Holes sorted. No messing about. Anyway, the cabbages as well, I'm going to transplant them into these holes. I've been trying to find my dibber, but I can't find it, so the easiest way to do it is to use your finger. Up to about there, that's where you want to be, you know. But it depends how long the roots are like. But I'll show you a few and then move on to the next thing. So now I've made my hole, get my finger again, and look for a nice big cutting seedling. I see I'm picking it up by the seed leaves. Now that's fine. They'll not harm the plant at all. You don't want to be touching the stem, because if you break that, then your cabbage won't it won't grow. So be a little bit gentle. And give it a nice good firming in. Like that. Same again. You can also pull up a club so it's easier. Don't be frightened, don't be frightened, you know. The plants are a lot tougher than some people think. So once again, pull straight in, holding onto the seed leaves and not touching the stem. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. I'll just stop this and find a better place to hold the camera. So back in it. Right, that's better. As I was saying, if you get a clump, just pull them up in between your hands, hold on to the seed leaf, knock off a bit excess. You can see it's got nice roots on there. Put the hole in with your finger. Get it straight and then firm it down. But I'm going to do 20 here, so I'll just pause for a second. Back soon. As you can see, with the power of technology, there's 20 cabbages there. I'm just going to do one more because what I found is the roots are quite thingy, so instead of just like a little finger, you poke in up your knuckle, just to give it a bit more thingy, because like I say, these roots got quite good system on, so I'll just plant this last one. I was just thinking while I was doing this, some people might think it's a bit of a faff on doing this, but it's actually quite relaxing, quite therapeutic. Like I say, it's nice and warm in here. The birds are singing away. It's nice and quiet. If it wasn't for the main road, just up the road, just over there, it would be lovely. But like I say, it's nice. While I've got the video on here, I've got a chrysanthemum. Well, the chrysanthemums cuttings that I potted on the other week. Oh, well, they're starting to root now, so I'm going to pot them into a bigger pot. I'll start with this one. So what I do with these, I use the terracotta pots for the chrysanthemums because they're far better. Like I say, they hold in the moisture and everything. And that's the way John raised me. He was a champion gardener, so he did them okay. So just follow what he did. So what I'm doing here is I'm just making a hole same size as the cup. I'm just holding it up off the bench because the camera was shaking around there. Just do it on the floor. This compost. Right, so I've filled a pot here, made a hole the size of exactly the same size, This one is a Picasso. So I got to give it a bit of a tap. Comes out and straight in the hole like you've just made. That's that done. Once it gets, once the roots start getting a bit bigger around the edge of the pot, they'll go into the final pot, which is a 10-inch size. That's the final pot for the flower. The broad beans, they're starting to grow like wildfire now. But like I say, that's my cabbages, 20 cabbages there. Next is going to be my broccoli, same sort of thing. But with these ones, with them being in the green on the windowsill in the house, in the kitchen, they went too leggy. So what I have to do with these ones is plant them a bit deeper. It'll not affect them or anything. But Ray was saying that broccoli and cabbage, they like to be a bit cold, you know, they don't like a heated or a hot greenhouse. So these aren't staying in here, I'm going to put them in the other greenhouse because that's not as warm as in here. What's that, the first fly of the year? Right, that's that. Like I say, I'll crack on, I'll put these broccoli in and get the rest of these chrysanthemums potted into these size pots. So I'll give you an update when I've done that. Hello, I'm back. This is the final part of me update. As you can see, I've potted on these chrysanthemums. They'll be going into the final pots as soon as they get big enough. That's the broccoli. I think I'll put some more seeds in because they're too long. There was hardly any roots on them, just all leaf. Well, all stalk. So I think I'll plant some more, but these cabbages are planted on fine, they'll be alright. My broad beans are coming up there nicely as well, everything. These later ones, I only sowed them last week, so they'll not be up yet. My onions are looking okay. They're going to have to go into these, I'm going to put them into the cups as well, because they're getting a bit too big to be in just that little tray. But I was listening to I texted into the Radio Newcastle gardening programme. I always listen to that, I have done for years. I asked them about if it's too early to put a row of potatoes in, so they says, you know, it is. I'll try and I'll see if I can get the link and I'll post it. But I'll put a row in anyway. What I usually do is dig a hole, and like I say, what I would usually do is get some chicken pellet manure or something like that, grow more, what have you, and put it in the hole. But this year I don't need to do that because I've got the cow manure all the way along the bottom of the trench. So yeah, just make sure you plant your potatoes with the chits on the upside, just in case you don't know, and then gently, so you don't break off any of the chits, put the soil back. That's it, done. But this is a good little tool. It's an old-fashioned carrot dibber, but it's perfect because it's 18 inches, and that's how far apart each potato needs to be. 18 inches. and then the rows in between need to be about 2 foot apart. The reason for this is because you need to earth the potatoes up later on. Every time you see a bit growth, they need to be earthed up for at least another foot, hence 2 foot. So 1 foot goes on one side, another foot goes on the other. There's not really much else to show you. There's my strawberries. Oh, what I've done, wait there, these are my pound shop irises. They're doing okay. The comfrey that I put down there is growing. I better be quick here because I think the memory stick's running out of memory. So I've put 2 strawberry plants in this bottle garden. It's a sort of experiment. I'm not sure if it's going to work or not. It seems to work on the videos I've seen on YouTube, like, so you never know. I was listening to the Newcastle match, but I'm over here to enjoy myself, not get depressed, so I've turned it off. There's all my cabbages. I've put them in here. Like I say, it's a bit colder in this greenhouse than in there. Cabbages don't mind a little bit of cold weather, like. No sign of me sweet corn yet. All my marigolds. And all the potato I put in there. I put a rocket potato in this bucket. Just for an experiment. I love experiments. I will be making some bow making videos as well, because I've had a few comments about people being interested in watching us how to do that, so I'll be doing that shortly. So I think I'll call it a day, which reminds us of a joke. When I was first born, I was nearly going to be called a day, because when my father first seen us and looked at us, he went, bloody hell, I think we'll call it a day. Boom boom. Anyway, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and I hope this video has been a little bit of helpfulness to you. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks again. Bye now.